Composting is like magic, but better. It turns kitchen scraps and garden waste into something wonderful. Compost. This black gold is a gardener's best friend. Compost enriches your soil, helps plants grow strong, and reduces waste. It's good for your garden and the planet. Think of all the food scraps we throw away. Instead of going to landfill, they can be recycled into nutrient-rich compost. This natural process reduces greenhouse gases and gives back to the earth. By composting at home, you're doing your bit for the environment. Plus, homemade compost is free. Why buy expensive fertilizers when you can make your own? It's packed with essential nutrients that your plants crave. Compost improves soil structure, making it easier for roots to grow and absorb water. So, are you ready to start composting? It's easier than you think. Let's get started. Composting is nature's way of recycling. Tiny creatures like bacteria and fungi break down organic matter into a rich, earthy material. Think of it as a buffet for beneficial microbes. They need the right ingredients to thrive. What can you compost? Kitchen scraps like fruit and vegetable peelings, coffee grounds, and eggshells are perfect. Garden waste like leaves, grass clippings, and shredded twigs are also great additions. Avoid meat, dairy, and oily foods as they can attract pests and create unpleasant smells. The key to successful composting is balance. Aim for a mix of green materials, nitrogen-rich, and brown materials, carbon-rich. Green materials provide nitrogen for microbial growth, while brown materials provide carbon for energy. A good ratio is about 2:1 brown to green. Remember, composting is all about working with nature. By providing the right conditions, you're creating the perfect environment for these tiny decomposers to work their magic. Choosing the right spot for your compost heap is crucial. Ideally, it should be in a well-drained area that receives both sun and shade. This will help regulate the temperature and moisture levels inside the heap. You can compost in a simple pile directly on the ground, but a compost bin can be more efficient and aesthetically pleasing. There are many types of bins available, from DIY structures to store-bought options. Choose one that suits your needs and budget. Once you have your chosen location and bin, it's time to start building your heap. Begin with a layer of twigs or straw for drainage. Then add alternating layers of green and brown materials, like building a delicious lasagna for your microbes. Remember to keep the heap moist, like a wrung-out sponge. You can cover it with a tarp or old carpet to retain moisture and heat. Now let nature do its thing. Composting can happen in two ways: hot composting and cold composting. Each method has its own unique process and benefits. Hot composting involves maintaining a high temperature inside the heap, around 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, to speed up decomposition. This high temperature is crucial for breaking down materials quickly and efficiently. This requires more effort in terms of turning and maintaining the right moisture levels, but produces compost in a matter of weeks. Regularly turning the pile ensures that oxygen is evenly distributed, which is essential for the microorganisms to thrive and break down the organic matter. Cold composting, on the other hand, is a slower process that relies on natural decomposition. It doesn't require frequent turning or monitoring, making it a more passive approach. It's less labor-intensive, but can take several months to a year to produce finished compost. This method is ideal for those who have the patience to wait and prefer a low-maintenance composting system. Simply add materials to the pile and let nature take its course. Over time, the organic matter will break down naturally, resulting in rich, nutrient-dense compost. The choice between hot and cold composting depends on your needs and preferences. Consider factors like the amount of time you can dedicate, the space you have available, and how quickly you need the compost. If you're short on time and want to compost quickly, hot composting is the way to go. It's perfect for gardeners who need a rapid turnaround and are willing to put in the extra effort. If you prefer a more hands-off approach, cold composting is a great option. This method suits those who are not in a rush and prefer a more natural, less labor-intensive process. Regardless of the method you choose, the basic principles remain the same. Provide the right mix of materials, moisture, and aeration. Both methods will eventually yield rich compost that can greatly benefit your garden. Want to speed up your composting and get your hands on that black gold faster? You're in the right place. Here are a few tips to accelerate the decomposition process and get that nutrient-rich compost sooner. Smaller pieces decompose faster. The smaller the material, the quicker it breaks down. Shredding leaves, chopping woody stems, and even running over materials with a lawnmower can significantly speed up the process. This increases the surface area for microbes to work on. Turning your compost pile regularly introduces oxygen and helps maintain a consistent temperature, especially for hot composting. Oxygen is crucial for the aerobic bacteria that break down the organic matter. Aim to turn the pile every few days to a week. This keeps the compost aerated and prevents it from becoming compacted. Keep the compost moist, but not soggy. The right moisture level is essential for microbial activity. Water the pile when necessary, especially during dry periods. If it's too dry, decomposition slows down. Certain materials can jumpstart the composting process. These act as activators. Add compost starter, manure, or a handful of garden soil to introduce beneficial microbes. These microbes are the workhorses of composting. Remember, composting is a natural process and patience is key. It takes time for organic matter to break down completely. But with a little effort and these helpful tips, you can speed things along and enjoy nutrient-rich compost in no time. Even with the best intentions and careful planning, things can sometimes go wrong with your compost heap. It's important to recognize the signs early and take corrective action. Here are some common problems and how to troubleshoot them effectively to ensure your composting process remains efficient and productive. Foul odors. This usually indicates anaerobic decomposition or a lack of oxygen. A smelly compost heap is often a sign that the materials inside are not breaking down properly. Turn the pile more frequently to introduce air. Regularly aerating your compost helps to maintain the necessary oxygen levels for aerobic decomposition. Add more brown materials to absorb excess moisture. Brown materials like dried leaves, straw, or cardboard can help balance the moisture content and reduce odors. Fruit flies. These pesky insects are attracted to sugary materials. They can become a nuisance if not managed properly. Bury fruit and vegetable scraps deep inside the pile. This helps to minimize exposure to the surface and reduces the attraction for fruit flies. Cover the top of the pile with a layer of brown material. This acts as a barrier to keep flies away and helps to maintain the right balance of materials. Slow decomposition. This could be due to several factors like insufficient moisture, too much brown material, or cold temperatures. Identifying the root cause is key to resolving the issue. Adjust the moisture levels, add more green materials, or consider moving the pile to a warmer location. Ensuring the right conditions can speed up the decomposition process. Don't be discouraged if you encounter setbacks. Every compost heap is unique, and it may take some time to get everything just right. Composting is a learning process. With patience and persistence, you can overcome any challenges that arise. By understanding the underlying causes and making the necessary adjustments, you can get your compost heap back on track. A well-maintained compost heap will reward you with rich, dark compost that can greatly benefit your garden. Ready signs your compost is ripe. How do you know when your compost is ready to use? Here are some telltale signs that your black gold is ripe and ready to nourish your garden. Dark brown and crumbly finished compost should be dark brown in color and have a crumbly texture. It should resemble rich, earthy soil. Earthy aroma ripe compost has a pleasant earthy smell. Any foul odors should be gone. Reduced volume. The volume of your compost pile should have shrunk considerably, usually by about 1/3 to 1/2. Cool to the touch. The compost should no longer feel warm, indicating that decomposition has slowed down. Once your compost meets these criteria, it's ready to be harvested. Sift out any large, undecomposed pieces, and use the finished compost as a soil amendment, mulch, or top dressing for your plants. Using homemade compost in your garden offers a multitude of benefits for both your plants and the environment. Improved soil structure. Compost enhances soil structure, making it looser and more aerated, which allows for better root penetration and water drainage. Increased nutrient content. Compost is a natural fertilizer, providing essential nutrients that promote healthy plant growth. Disease suppression. Compost can help suppress soil-borne diseases, reducing the need for chemical treatments. Water retention. Compost helps soil retain moisture, reducing the need for frequent watering. Environmental benefits. Composting reduces landfill waste, decreases greenhouse gas emissions, and promotes a closed-loop system. By incorporating compost into your gardening routine, you're not only improving the health and vitality of your plants, but also contributing to a more sustainable future. Composting might seem like a small act, but its impact on the environment is significant. By diverting organic waste from landfills, we reduce the production of harmful greenhouse gases like methane. Furthermore, using compost in our gardens reduces the need for chemical fertilizers and pesticides, which can have detrimental effects on soil health and water quality. Composting is a simple yet powerful way to make a positive difference. It's a journey of transforming waste into a valuable resource, nurturing our gardens, and contributing to a healthier planet for generations to come. So why not start composting today? It's a gift to your garden, your community, and the earth.